Welcome to another episode from the Critics Collective. I'm the Dad Panther. Hit the subscribe button, like, follow, and comment for more. We are talking Love is Blind. We're getting towards the end of this season. We're talking season 9, episode 10. And before I go ahead and rate this episode to see kind of where it holds up, in my opinion, go ahead and put where you're feeling, this episode or this whole series is going as we've gone through each episode. Now, we'll start with Jordan and Megan. And before I really get into it, if you want a deeper dive to something that we're just trying to, mess around with, I watched this live. And if you listen to where I'm saying on the marker, you can basically watch it with me. We could be 2 or 3 or 4 couch potatoes watching this episode. So if you want more idea or a better idea of what I felt at the moment, watch that one, watch it with the episode, and there you go. But Jordan and Meg, I'll start off with them. Sparkle, there wasn't much on that episode. They had another good meeting with their parents. I think there was a moment where Jordan might have been annoyed or aggravated at what his dad said. I think his dad made a comment like, being grandparents who get grandchildren is a great sign because we didn't kill our actual kids in the parenting. So I thought it was somewhat humorous, but Jordan I think was embarrassed. I get it. The mom was asking Megan, "Hey, how did the first kiss go?" But then when Megan started giving the detail, she was like, "Whoa, that's too much information. Don't give that." I don't know what to do with that. But it was a good visit. It was quiet. There wasn't much going on with those two, and I don't know if something bigger is going to happen. Really, the only two things, if not three, the situation with Mike and a guy like Mike, because it feels like Megan wants that or needs that. And at least that's what I picked up at the rodeo get together type of thing, because I would feel some type of way if my significant other even entertained a conversation, unless that's what the producers make you sit down and do. It just seemed very, you still got a chance type of thing, and let us know who Mike was. Obviously, her financial situation is different from Jordan. That's going to be something. Making somebody drink a horrible protein shake with Crystal Light and frozen chicken, that should be against many laws in multiple countries and states. I don't know about that, but the kid, respectfully, is another thing that's going to come up. I think Jordan made a comment saying something like, "Well, she's never had a significant relationship with someone who's had a kid." I don't know a lot of people who has. I mean, have you tried like literally asking people around? It's not something a lot of people have to either go through one way or the other. So I didn't take anything from it if she doesn't understand or know that experience, and that's cool. She seems very invested. She seems like she's taking it very serious, and she's willing to be there, obviously financially, but it seems like she wants to be there for all the other intangibles in between. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But I don't think we will on the format of the show, at least to my knowledge. Moving on to Tony and Allie. Allie presents her case to the jury, us, as she hits Tony out of the blue with questions that she's been setting up. She wanted to know how many beers were in the fridge. They're gone. Tequila, how much was in it? It's gone. I don't know how Tony didn't see this coming, because it was like you could have just. He was very honest. He didn't lie or anything like that. He likes to drink, and they've said it multiple times. And if you go back to the first reveal, he grabs the bottle and he looks at it the way she wanted to be looked at. With that, so he was like, "Damn, girl, you thick," but he wasn't talking about Allie. Um, Also, the friend came over. We didn't get a chance to see him, so we don't know if there's a bigger issue, but she didn't like him coming over. They're going to have to deal with that, whether or not he's hanging out and partying. And he played a card, which I thought was, I understand why he played the card, but it was the wrong card, in my opinion. She asked him, "Is this going to be an everyday thing? Is this your normal week to drink over 12 beers and take a half a bottle of tequila?" And he's like, "Yeah, what's your normal week? Is it a normal week for you to just not cook and clean and just not do anything?" And she goes, "Yeah," with a smile on her face, because they talked about that, and she already, one, hinted to it, and two, they only really agreed on 50% of the chores. So yeah. Also, paper, rock, scissors. If you possibly have a drinking problem, not to say that he has, if you have a drinking problem, I like to think that is more dangerous than someone who just doesn't pick up after themselves from time to time. I'm just saying. Now, as far as him having a drinking problem, I don't know. We don't get to see fully everything. You could be fully functional with a problem. I don't have a 1-800 number for you, but um, there's some people who just like to have a good drink and chill and whatnot, and they are not causing any issues, anything. So I don't know. We'll find out more about that. Now, the um the cool thing about it, we got a chance to see Tony's mom, who was looking smooth. She was looking dapper. She was put together, and she was siding with everything from Allie, from having kids in about a year or two to being in church to living a clean life. And that was a win, a big win for Allie, to have the mom in your pocket, not in your pocket disrespectfully and like that, but just like it was a good meeting for the two ladies, not a win for Tony. Joe and Madison, I don't even know why we're talking about this because we know how this is going to play out before we even watch this episode. Joe is done. Joe has been done since the first reveal. Again, he hugs her, embraces her, gives a kiss. Madison is all in. He's pulling away, pushing away. It was awkward. Madison sees the red flags and she's mentioned it, yet she pays it no attention for whatever the motherfucking reason. I don't know if she doesn't have confidence in herself to love hers. She is beautiful. I don't know if she doesn't love herself, but I don't know. Where you see someone like Allie, I'm not trying to compare and nothing like that. Like, respectfully, you watch Allie, whose confidence is so much. Megan, another one, so big on the confidence. KB, so big, and not in a detriment to themselves or their partner. And then you watch Megan, who goes through these highs and lows of her feeling that she is worth it. And I mean, I think she's worth it as far as what I see. Now, in this situation, I'll go to what happens at the end of this episode. But it's when Joe's meeting with her sister, her mom, I think it's Aaron, Jessica, and Matthew, the brother-in-law. They all looked at Joe like, "You're going to leave. You're not about this life." I think even Joe, or I think the mom asked, Aaron asked Joe, "Hey, look, we're not going to get blindsided, right?" Like, I'm sure not Megan, I'm sure Madison's had those conversations with him, and so they knew. I feel like, how could you not tell someone? Like, I know we saw with Annie and Patrick, how could you not tell someone? Blake, and again, no shade. I just feel like with me, I would have to tell you, whether behind closed doors and they show up a little text, "Hey, the Dad Panther talked to XYZ and let them know and said bye to the guys and had one off on the camera." I don't know how I can take off and just, anywho, KB and Ed laughs out loud. First of all, he's looking at rollerblades. My gosh, this guy's looking at fucking rollerblades every episode. They're It's sad because I don't think he should have been on the show for so many obvious reasons, and it's not fair to him and the people on the show. But they keep, just every now and then, a little fragment just chips off, and we see a little bit more than maybe we should have. He's looking at rollerblades again, and KB asks a question, and this is just my take on it. She's not just asking a question; she's trying to have a grown person conversation. She's trying to say how she feels. She's trying to work and improve on a situation, but there's a certain way to do it. Some people, what they do is they want to have this conversation and it's yelling or it's disrespectful or it's in a bad way. It's attacking and you're defending. It's nothing constructive that comes from the constructive criticism. What she does, which is so awesome and beautiful, and just shows, and maybe I'm just looking at it wrong, her emotional intelligence is, she sits back and everything is meaningful. Her hand gestures, her eye coordination, or her eye contact, her tone and her voice. Just her sitting on the couch and not having to yell or project her voice to seem like it's negative. And she's using facts, not feelings, facts over whatever going on in the story that she's saying. And then she layers it with how she felt about it and why it made her feel how it felt. And it was so refreshing to hear that. I think she's the only one on the show, male or female, that I feel like has that intelligence, that maturity when it comes to being able to say what you need to say. Now, there's been a little moment in the previous episode 9, where she could go another way. And I'm sure if you're from Florida, what we're talking about. Or even if you're from Georgia, which I thought was interesting. KB had that real conversation, and we got a chance to learn why they were not on the same page going up to the rodeo get together type of thing. And she really just wanted Edmund to say sorry. And before that, like most of us, guy or girl, could be like, "Hey, you need to say sorry. She's already painting this picture. He didn't get it until she's saying, you need to say sorry. Oh, all right, sorry. Sorry for what? He didn't know. He didn't know what he was saying sorry for. The day before, or at least the incident before, was she went and did all the errands. She had other personal errands she had to do, and then she also had to pick up the stuff for the handkerchiefs and the theme, the cowboy hat, stuff like that, and then get ready. And she was basically asking, I believe, asking Edmund, "Hey, can you take care of getting the rodeo gear? I need to get ready." And Edmund was like, "I'm busy." And she comes home to find out that he really wasn't busy, probably looking at rollerblades again. And then she only had less than 30 minutes. And then he's probably acting like a kid, messing with her while she's trying to get dressed with stuff that wasn't what she wanted to hear. Not like a bird theory type of thing, but not what she wanted to hear. And she wanted sorry for that. She wanted sorry for what was said at the rodeo. He said I was just joking. Just again, not understanding it. I'm not gonna beat a dead horse with it. But after that, I'll talk about Annie and Nick. That's done. Annie and Nick is done. Even if they tie the knot, it's done. Annie's hair, bless her. I don't know what's going on with there. I would tell them I work somewhere else. Honestly, the drunk kissing. That's what I'm going to call it. Maybe I've been drinking. She had a little bit to drink. I don't know, but there was two times on two separate nights where I guess she gets so saucy. She misses. I don't know. Maybe it's medication. I don't know. So I'm not trying to. These people are putting themselves out here almost 2 years ago, only to find out what the world is saying about them. So I'm trying to be respectful and understanding on that point, because they may not be those same people anymore. They've grown. They've matured. They've made changes. This was chopped up in a way that made them look XYZ. I'm keeping it real. I've been on a reality show or two, so a little bit. Yeah, so Nick is still trying, and he's lying. He lies about his interaction with the other person he was going to put a ring on, saying that she was good with it and da da da. No, it blew up in his face because he got caught lying then, and he's lying to us. She just doesn't see it, but she did kind of hear some stuff sideways. Nick always fixes it and gets them good to grow and build. And Annie's like Jenga, pulling two pieces at the same time, but two pieces that aren't strong. And then she switches. She's like, I don't need you in my life to revolve around my life. And then he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, Nick, I need you in my life. It could revolve around you. And it's like, he's at this point, he's like, I'm not seeing enough to tell you right now that I'm walking down the aisle. I'm just preparing you right now, like my brother did when he looked across the table when I said I was getting married. So I don't know. It ended up being where I think at the end, Annie packed her bags, and that was just awkward. And I even watched that segment, I think twice. And I think what it was to me, I was like, Nick didn't say anything to get to that point. Yeah, he said, the night before that he wanted to really see what he's up against. But again, Annie has flipped the script on him two times, two occasions. That's day and night. So yeah, that's something. So I'm gonna go ahead and rate this. We rate here from a 0 to a 5. We rate everything here from wrestling to television to movies, indies, steamy. Make sure the kids are a bad movie. You know what I'm talking about? Like horror movies, actions, thrillers, video games. I mean, we're out here collectively being critics, and you could be a collective critic too. You could, for the low price of free 99. That's right. $3.99. And what I mean by that is hit the subscribe button, like, follow, and comment for more. We greatly appreciate you joining the family. What do I rate this? I rated a 3. I feel like three's average. Now, I will go into the two talking points that I said I would do towards the end, which is the ladies looked amazing in those wedding dresses. I couldn't tell you the difference between a wedding dress and the style of it, even though I did watch Bridezilla and say yes to the dress with the wife. But respectfully, these ladies look gorgeous. The guys cleaned up good too. Guys cleaned up good. Tony's mom is the first woman to be on the groom's side, so she didn't have a suit. I don't know, but she was clean in what she was wearing before. So whatever they put her in, she gonna kill it. And Joe ran, y'all. Joe ran. I don't know how to describe it other than he got the fuck out of there. They're all sitting down, they're all trying out stuff, and his friends there, and you could tell it's the vibe from some of these people, like, hey, I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna work. And sure enough, he keeps looking at his phone. He goes outside, and Jordan's like, he didn't just leave, did he? and he took the fuck off. So I think the last glimpse we have is either him getting in the truck and the producer stopping him. Man, that's rough. Like I said before, I don't know anybody's situation. I'm just, damn. Like even if I really felt like that at the moment, I would have to go back and talk to Madison low key. I would tell the people I'm with, hey, listen, can I tell you real quick? Come over here, let me whisper, take out my mic. I would tell them, hey, this not gonna work. I'm about to get out of here. When I go and talk to who I'm gonna talk to, I need you to go talk to their people and let them know what's going down. And I'll confront them too. And I'm like, hey, can we go talk for a moment? And I think I would keep the cameras and the mic in there only for my accountability. And I put myself in the situation by allowing me getting this far. I owe myself to take that L on national television if I'm the bad guy or not, just versus take out the mic and no cameras because I don't want to be looking like a bad guy. No, I'm like, hey, listen, I'm a creep. I'm a loner. I'm a loser. That just jumped in my head. I think it's Alanis Morissette. But anyway, you could have been anywhere in the world and you chose to be here. Listen to me yap about a reality show. Tell me the next reality show I should watch. I don't know. 99 Ways to Win. Until next time, kalika allow.